Hello there, friends. It's Monday, September 9th, 2019. It's Monday morning. I think it's about 9 a.m. So, well, how is it going, folks? Just at a parking lot, gotta go to the store, pick up some stuff. Gotta get some meat for grilling. Gotta pick up some propane. I'll tell you what, for the grill, grill maxing. So I got some nice organic drumsticks with some seasoning marinating. Yes, I put seasoning on my chicken, so don't give me any of that, man. But yeah, I remember Christmas, for those of you who remember from the previous channel, making a video about a Christmas tree that we had, that I took as a sign, as an omen, if you will. And I realize this stuff is maybe for some people a little out there, a little too woo-woo, a little what, but back when we lived in Ukraine, we used to have Christmas trees all the time. And when we moved here, I remember for maybe a few years or something like that, we did here too, but then stopped. And it was a long, long time. And just something, it was interesting that my dad decided to get a Christmas tree again, and a real one at that, like a little tiny one to put in this container and then with water and all that, and really dress it up and all of that stuff. That something about it really just hit me that I found very interesting. It's like maybe this is a sign of things to come in the new year in 2019, of something. That we never had one of these Christmas trees for a long, long time, and just something about it. Yeah, we get it. Something about it. Move on. And boy, didn't that turn out to be accurate, folks. Not maybe in the way that I was expecting. I didn't know what to expect of 2019, and it has been quite the year, hasn't it? Started off with my grandmother passing away, and then after all that, it seemed like things just kind of quieted down, and going back to same old, and then all sorts of stuff happened, and I already lost track of how many, I don't know, how many months of this year. It feels like this entire year, all I've been sort of focused on is like the back problems that I have, and it's tiring, you just kind of hit one of those points where you just realize how much of your attention is constantly focused on like whatever health malady or issue you're facing, where it's really like, it's tiring, just trying to keep in mind and be grateful for, as much as it sucks, it could be way worse, and there's people out there who deal with much worse stuff out there. And it's like, just wow, how I don't, like the stuff that people out there have to face and deal with, just how kind of like emotionally draining it is, where you've got like this thing it's kind of like your computer memory, like this process that's always kind of running there and taking up space and CPU and all of that. Like that's what it feels like. Or it's just like, oh, damn, man. And so now, during the worst of it, I remember telling my mom of like, man, just want my life back, Maybe I didn't really have much of a life, but you just want your life back, because it felt like your job was to basically be ill. It's tiring, It's very tiring. And so once it just sort of magically one day seemed to get better. And then as soon as I started the physical therapy stuff, which didn't really feel like it did anything, like a lot of the pain and this and that got relieved, and it was just kind of dealing with the insomnia. Once you started getting back your life, so to speak, I just went back to my same shitty whining and feeling sorry for myself and complaining. I remember just talking to my mom, and she was like, oh, here you were talking about wanting your life back, whatever, and look at this thing eased up, and here you are like complaining and feeling sorry for yourself again. You're very ungrateful, you know that? And so it's almost like the punishment returns, You prayed to have health restored to your body and mind. And once it started to be restored, you went back and started doing the same shit over again, right? And so the punishment happens again so that you can actually learn your damn lesson, right? I know that maybe am I saying this seriously? I don't know, folks. I don't yet know. It's like a combination of the physical and spiritual is what it feels like. Where, you look back at your previous habits, and it's like, my best guess, because, you run through the doctor's visits and the specialists and the imaging, and they don't really find anything wrong. And, like, while that's good, that's good to know that there's nothing seriously. It's just the, like, why do I feel this way? My best guess is, it's the years of bad habits, of bad posture, and focusing probably too much on the wrong exercises, too much pushing, not enough pulling, especially for your upper back and this and that. And so one day, you just have this random moment when you're going for a walk and your shit breaks, and that's why, so there's that aspect. But also, I can't help but see like the deeper meaning of it too. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. You know what I mean? It's like you keep wasting time, you keep going back and forth, like you have this opportunity to really do whatever it is that you want to do, but you keep whining and complaining. So it's almost like life, God, the universe, whatever, comes around and like bitch slaps your ass to be like, look at that, you ungrateful little shit. How do you like that? And this is, as bad as this feel, imagine how much worse it can be. So, it's like when, when somebody isn't listening at a certain volume, you got to raise your voice further. And if they don't hear it, if they don't get it, then you keep raising it until they finally hear it, right? Hopefully. So, maybe, I was just so excited that it finally started dying down that I just wanted to get out the house and do stuff, and probably did too much too soon. And too much too soon. Maybe some of the exercises were wrong. I probably made the mistake too of doing that thing where you start reading about your symptoms and then you start trying to diagnose yourself. Like, oh, do I have costochondritis? Or just, shit like that. Because, like, you're not really getting answers anywhere else, Everybody else is just sort of guessing. The pros are guessing, and it's like, I don't know, man. Like, how many am I supposed to go through? Like, nobody quite has an answer for you, so you do the same thing. You start trying to guess. Bought this, like, back pod to use on my back, and at first it was fine, but I don't know. I think maybe that just started to aggravate shit in my back, too. So who knows? Maybe I was walking too much, too. And, if I'm not really, like, sleeping great, then I'm not exactly recovering very fast, so it's probably the, like, poor recovery mixed with doing too much, and maybe some of the stuff is wrong. Eventually, it, like, starts breaking again. So, you find yourself here again, but it sucks because you can't really do much of anything again. It feels like maybe some very, very light walking around the neighborhood, and that's about it. But gotta conserve your strength and your ability, your whatever, for when you have to go into work so you can get through the shift without too much of a hassle, So I can feel sorry for myself again, right? And in a way, perhaps I was just using it as a cope, folks. As good as it is to go for walks and exercise and this and that, I went from, it's like all I was doing is I would just go walk around outside a bunch, go sit under trees and crap like that, just kind of avoid doing anything at home. So perhaps that was another, like, oh, you little shit, you're not going to get away so easily. How about I take away your ability to do too much of that, so your ass does have to stay home and work on something. So, I can feel sorry for myself, but it's not really going to change anything. So at the very least, you take stock of what you do have is that, it kind of sucks, but could be much worse. And at the very least, I can, like, lay down on my back and nothing feels aggravated, Sleep is it's okay. So I'll take that. It's just compared to how it was at the beginning, or I don't know, maybe I just got used to it that it doesn't feel like a shock anymore. But yeah, when it first started, man, like sitting, standing, and laying down, everything made it hurt. So there was never a position of any comfort. So it's nice to at least be able to, like, lay down on your back or, like, lay on your stomach or something like that. And just kind of have the ache and pains and whatever and tension and shit that you have kind of go away. I had my first day last night where I actually stayed the entire time kind of on my floor. I settled on, there's a hardwood floor with a little rug, and I put a yoga mat and these two kind of like thicker blankets, and that's been my bed. So it's just enough cushioning, but still firm enough. I finally had my first night where I actually stayed the entire sleep window on the floor, because at first it was like, after a couple of hours, you're like, oh shit, fuck this, get up and go back into bed. So this was the first time that I had all of it, and just slowly getting there, I'm in it for the long haul, folks. I know that, you're trying to change a habit that you've had for basically many, many, many years. It's not like overnight, you know, you do something for a few days or a week and like, oh, there you go, you reap the benefits. Like, no, this is a thing. If you're going to get anything out of it, it's going to take a while for you to adjust and then see what effect it has. And, well, you might as well, because it's costs you nothing, right? Other than just changing the location of where you go lay down and sleep. So, and I've been trying a whole bunch of crap, so might as well. You know, if I had enough people swear by it. So yeah, the old Russian lady and also the Iranian guy that I talked to, he when I talked to him about it, he's like, oh yeah, like I sleep on the floor too, and so does his mom, who's got the really bad dementia. And he said, like, yeah, my uncle swears like it cures back problems, and he told me, yeah, months ago, he was like, you should try it, man. Like, give it a month, I promise you. So I just kind of like, whatever, you know. Because, you know, like laying down for like, I don't know, 30 minutes or something isn't bad, but yeah, if you're not used to it. But sorry, I know this is very riveting conversations, folks. So I just gotta do and just gotta believe. Once it starts to ease up again, folks, it's clear that the way to do this is to baby it back to health, not like do a whole bunch. Baby it back to health and just focus on all that upper back work that I've never ever really done before. At most, you do what? Some pull-ups here and there, some dumbbell rows, but never feel shit in anything other than your lats. So, and so yeah, can at least do that. Well, it's not as bad as it was before, but like I said, maybe I've just gotten so used to how it feels that you don't even notice it. And it's hard to describe to you what exactly it's like. Because see, like, it basically all goes away when I lay down on, like, a flat surface. Yeah, I'll sometimes lay on my bed with a pillow. And, like, yeah, it's just that when your head gets held up like that, it's just, I can feel it in my upper back. It's like, it just doesn't, like... And see, that's probably another thing, is it's, like, probably years of, like, not only shitty posture, but just the way you slept in bed, too. Where... like I said, it all adds up to one day magically breaking and falling apart. And so, yeah, it's clear, you know, this is not a thing that's just going to be solved overnight. This is just something that you're going to have to take it easy, feel out, and very slowly nurse it back to health. And build yourself back up. So, well, if I... can't really go out and do much, folks, at the very least, I can make sure that my diet is as clean as I can possibly make it. So, since I can't really rely on exercise for getting in shape, I want to give keto another shot, because I've read enough anecdotal evidence where people say once their body adjusted to the ketogenic diet, they would get really, really deep sleep. I don't know why that just caught my eye. So I'm like, oh shit, man. I'm sure there's vegans reading this who are going to be angry. No, you must eat the plant burger. You must eat the insect burger. I'm not trying to start any like vegan, carnivore, whatever fights. It's just, man, all I can do at this point is try shit out, because, I mean, what? It's not just gonna go away just like that if you keep doing what you're doing. So it's not gonna cost you to try anything any different. So might as well see if there's any truth to that. So, like I said, since I can't really exercise too much or very little, I'm gonna have to rely on other shit and try to do it well. So, I'm gonna buy some, saw these like romaine hearts or whatever in like packs. So it's like, you can probably just take one out, chop it up, put a little olive oil on it, and there's your greens with some meat and maybe eggs. So keep it nice and simple and to the point. So I'll see if there's any truth to that, folks. You know, is it really gonna hurt to try? And if I gotta stay at home, then I might as well just try to be productive on the computer. So I said there's still been a lot of like tug of war back and forth shit in my head, but I finally finished my first Unity tutorial. Yeah, it's kind of a dumb, I mean, it's not really my idea for a game, you know, I followed, but it's like, wow, I actually finally stuck to a thing and finished it. How about that? And I don't know, like, if it wasn't video game related, would I have wanted to stick to it and finish it? I don't know, folks. I don't know. It took me a while for like an 11-part, you know, hour and a half long series to probably take me weeks to get through it, but that is the unfocused mess that I am right now. That is just how I am right now, folks, but I don't believe that that's going to be the case if I just continue to build up, you know, continue to build up the sharpness of your sword. Yeah, it's embarrassing and it sucks, and like, wow, congrats, man, you moron. But it's a start somewhere for something, you know? You gotta start somewhere. And slowly build your focus up more and more and more. But yeah, it's like you sit there, like, first off, you start noticing the racing thoughts before you even sit down and do it. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should go in the kitchen and get some coffee. Oh, maybe I should go to the bathroom. Or maybe I should go out and go do the... It's like your mind keeps wanting to go here and there instead of like sit down and do this thing for several hours. And then you start it and it's like every few minutes you just find it like going every which way. Yeah. Like I said, it's almost like training a puppy or something like that. It just keeps wanting to go do other stuff and you have to just, yeah, no. Focus on this right now. So, yes, like I said, an unfocused mess is what my mind is right now. And I can continue to do that. I got Unity installed on a laptop, so, well, I can lay on my stomach or whatever and do that. So, like I said, I can, like I said, talking about it all, it's both like a combination where it's not that bad, but yet it is at the same time. And so, like, when you try to tell people about it, it's like, oh, here you are sitting in your car, I guess it must not be that bad. Like, yes and no. That's really the only fucking way I can describe it, is it's like both. Like, you have this weird, you start having this weird ache in like your upper ab area and like lower rib, chest area, especially on the right side, and kind of like the lat area, especially like that serratus area, and then sort of the upper back in between the rhomboid areas, like, and then sort of like this bottom lat area of the like the lower ribs, where it's like I don't know what the fuck is wrong, you know what I mean? And yeah, the imaging at the doctors didn't really show anything wrong. So who fucking knows, man? And I don't know how much of this right now, too, is just your body adjusting to laying down on a hard floor. So it's like talking about it with people sometimes is just like it makes me feel like I'm crazy, where yeah, you go into the doctors and it's like, oh, how do you feel right now? What's your pain level? Well, right now it's like a 1, but, you know, if I go into work and like after 5-6 hours, like that's when it really, man, I don't fucking know. Like I said, it could be way worse. It could be way worse, and I just gotta look at the positives. Gotta look at the positives and not look at what I can't do, but like, okay, well, I can't go out and do dips, folks, and go walk around for 2 fucking hours. But at the very least, I mean, can make sure I'm a good floor sleeper. I got my diet cleaned up. Enjoy just a little bit of like fresh air, walks outside, and yeah, use this downtime when I'm not at work or whatever to fucking continue building up my Unity skills. So, you know, focus on what you can do and then try to do it good. So, I mean, what else do you have? I mean, what else? You're gonna just feel sorry for yourself, get drunk, and do nothing? It's not exactly gonna change anything, so focus on what I can do and do it well. And then when you start getting the relief back, etc., it's just going to be slowly nursing it back to health and reminding yourself of like little shit like, yeah, that sure sucked, didn't it? So why don't you try to be a little bit more grateful? Because imagine how much worse, you little bitch, it can be. Oh, that fucking Christmas tree, folks. Right, folks? Alright, this is already probably getting long enough as it is. I don't know, there's probably some other stuff, but figured I'd keep up with the theme of all this, so. Alright, folks, I gotta go get in the store, gotta go get some propane. I know you have back problems, but I just want to grill. Alright. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.